Hi guys, Rasmus here, and welcome to our podcast. We are going to talk about The Outsiders. It's me, Rasmus, William, and Julia today.
The first character we are going to talk about is Ponyboy. He's also the head character. Ponyboy is 14 years old and he's the youngest boy in the gang Grazers. Um, he has two older brothers uh, whose name are Soda Pop and Derry.
I'm also talking about Keith. He's also named 2-Bit Matthews. He's the oldest one in the gang. He's also the funniest, but he also wants the things in his way. He never really wants things to go the opposite of what he's thinking of, because he can go pretty mad after that. So he also wants it just as he thinks it could be like.
Another one of the Greasels is Daryl. He also calls Derry. He's Ponyboy's oldest brother, and he's always taking care of Ponyboy when he gets in troubles.
Then, who is existing in the Greasers? I will name them up here real quick. It's Keith, 2-Bit, Matthews. And it's Steve Rendell. It's Daryl, Derry, Shane and Curtis. Soda Pop, Patrick Curtis, Ponyboy Curtis, Johnny Cade, Dallas, also named Dally Winston.
The other gang is the Sox, and the members in the Sox are Bob Sheldon, who's a little bit of a leader. Bob Sheldon was getting killed later in the book. Another member in the Sox is Randy Anderson, who is Bob's best friend. The third member is Cherry Lance. He's Bob's girlfriend, and she's a little bit of a spy to the Greasers. There's also Marcia, who is Cherry's best friend.
The differences between the Sox and the Greasers are that the Greasers have a certain and special hairstyle, and also that they're fighting because they want to own different places, and they want to rule different areas. Derry characterizes Ponyboy as lacking common sense. And then what does that mean? Yeah, it means that he doesn't really think. If he goes alone on the street, for example, when you've been watching a movie, he's not really allowed to go alone because the Sox might be coming towards him. So that he might get into a fight, and then he might need more greasers. So, for example, why does Derry think so? Yeah, that's because of the fights that can go on if a sock see one only greaser. So they also always want to be about 3 or 4 greasers when they're walking home. And the example is that he might go home from a movie and they've been watching it alone. Then you should call Derry or Keith or whoever and ask for a ride instead of just going alone.
A movie that can make me escape from the reality is Saw. It's a horror movie that is very interesting, and it makes me focus enough to escape from reality.
When Punny returns to school after Johnny's and Dally's death, he is unable to function at the level he did before. His grades drops and is clumsy, and nothing is easy for him. Why does this change occur? Is it permanent change? How do we know? I guess that Punny gets into a shock after Johnny and Dally dies. So I think he's just thinking about that when he sits and doing his homework and so on. So that makes him not be able to do the things he need to, and that drops his grades. I can't really tell why he's clumsy, but I think that's just because he's shocked. And I think that it's not a permanent change. I think just it will be maybe for a year if it's very bad. But I can't really tell why, but I think it's just something that would be on for a year or so.